Hi, it's Janet here from janetkingsley.com. I'd like to start off with a story. Krishna told his people, he said, I have a gift for you, a gift of immortality, a gift of joy, of contentment, of happiness, a gift of prosperity. Won't you reach out your hands and take it? And they said, oh, but Krishna, we would love to receive these gifts from you. But you see, our hands, they're filled with these juicy, tasty mangoes. And Krishna says, well, put down your mangoes, and then your hands will be free to receive my gifts. And they said, but we love these mangoes. They're so juicy. Tell you what, why don't you give us your gifts first? And then we'll put down our mangoes. And that's sometimes how we are, isn't it? We have the mangoes. In this case, the mangoes are our belief systems, and not the great ones. So I'm talking about our limiting beliefs, our self-sabotaging behaviors, our excuses as to why we can't do something. And there are mangoes, but in the meantime, the infinite is pouring out its bounty, whether or not that's in money or relationships or opportunities or possibilities or giving our gifts. You know, there's opportunities around us, but we don't see them. Or if we see them, we don't take action because we hang on to our excuses. We hang on to our stories. So we have these excuses as to why we're not doing something that we think that we should be doing, right? Um, so if we're feeling lack of fulfillment, if we're feeling that dissatisfaction, I love hindsight, I love when I'm feeling dissatisfaction because, you know, eventually I do recognize it as divine discontent, that somehow that inner urge to express more, to be more, to show up in a bigger way, to share my gift, to move in a new direction, to really redefine myself. I am the queen of reinvention, really. And I love it. It's creative. It allows me to tap more and more and more into the essence and the truth of who I am and connect with those gifts and the talents and the skills. I'm going to really call them gifts that I have long buried. You know, my gifts of intuition, my gifts of healing, my gifts of insight and wisdom that I have denied for so long because I have had a mango that said, yeah, but who am I? I haven't had all of these horrible experiences like so many people have had. I mean, my life has been pretty okay, right? That could be even the tragedy that I didn't have this massive hurdle to overcome. It's just the day-to-day hurdles, right? The you know, who didn't have a dysfunctional family, right? So when we make decisions from fear, from lack, because we don't trust ourselves, that's hanging on to a mango. When we scroll through Facebook and we have Facebook envy, right? And then we have some self-judgment against ourselves. Why aren't we doing what they're doing? That's holding on to a mango that somehow we're not good enough. Maybe we scroll through Facebook and we see, you know, we're boasting. You know, that could be a mango that we're holding on to that really comes from maybe being insecure, that has to show that we're not insecure. So we're being phony by only displaying the good stuff, right? It's not a real connection, right? When we find ourselves, if we do, either gossiping about somebody or even excited to hear gossip about someone, look, that's a mango that we're hanging on to, that it's okay. We justify why we're gossiping. We justify why we're listening to gossip. And if we look beyond that, it's because we have a belief probably that we're not good enough. That if somebody else can be made to look less than, it helps build us up, right? These are all different ways that we are fighting, arguing for our limitations. I don't remember who said it, but you've heard it. I know. If you argue for your limitations, they're yours. So we need to allow those mangoes to maybe not drop all at once, right? It's a process, but allow one mango to drop. Maybe the mango of lack of self-confidence. How can we let that go? What can we do day by day? How can we just look at all the things that we've done over our lifetime? We've learned to drive. We'll focus on the things that we don't do well. When I was a minister speaking in front of people, people would compliment me. And, I have heard that the number one fear is a fear of public speaking beyond the fear of death. And I don't know that that's true. We perpetuate myths. And here I am participating, but I do know it's a big fear. It was a huge fear of mine. I was selling real estate, and when it was the caravan day and all the realtors would come together and you would have a listing on, the broker open house, and you just pitch your listing, and it just, when you get up in front of everybody and say, oh, I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, and it's got a pool and air conditioning, and it was nothing. I could not even do that. So I would get somebody else to do that. And in the meantime, I would be at the house with snacks. That was my excuse. I could not speak in front of anyone. So, and this is what I say, if I can do it, anyone can do it. But here's what I know. A, I had a phenomenal teacher. But B, when I'm speaking in front of people, I am on fire and I'm passionate about my topic, about what I'm speaking about. And I let that divine flow. I may be a little bit less excited speaking about how a carburetor works because I certainly don't know, right? And I would trip over my words. Even this one-on-one to a camera, although there's no one here but me and the camera, is a form of public speaking. And I know a lot of people can't do that. And as you know, I don't have notes and I trip over my words. And that's okay because that's me. But when we say we're going to look at somebody and say, oh, but she's so good at public speaking, I can't do that. Well, how do you know? I would have said the same exact thing before I did it. I did say the same thing. I was terrified the first time I had to just get up in front of somebody and speak for 5 minutes while I was in ministerial school. Terrified. But I had to do it, right? Otherwise, I guess I would drop out. And so you have done so much. So what one thing, just one mango, what one mango can you drop today? I used to tell myself, that I'm not good at speaking to strangers. Can I let that mango go? That I'm not good at networking events. Can I let that mango go? That, I know a lot of ladies, women and girls, I'm not good at math. Can you let that mango go? Or what other limiting beliefs? I know I'm in the midst of talking about prosperity and teaching about prosperity. And how about this one? Spirituality and money sometimes is like oil and water. And so I hear things like, money is not that important to me. Can you let that mango go? I used to say that, and money is very important to me. It was not the correct statement because without money, I can't pay my rent. I can't buy food. I can't put gas in the car. I can't do anything without money. Money is extremely important to me. But I'm not money motivated. I don't do things just for the money. That's a little bit different. Yet I love money. I appreciate money. I am developing a love affair with the energy of the divine that shows up in my life by means of money. So what mango can you do that? Can you develop a love affair with the exact mango, the limiting belief that you have as far as the opposite is concerned, as far as letting it go? So for my personal example of I'm not great at networking, or don't like to talk to strangers at the networking event? Can I adopt, say the opposite, that I am having a love affair with the potential of meeting another spiritual being, another God being, another divine human, another person who might influence me in a certain way, might open my eyes to a new idea that is going to put me in a whole brand new direction in my life. Wow, who is it going to be? And then with that expectation, with that anticipation, everyone becomes my new potential teacher. And instead of being, introverted and staying in the corner like a wallflower, I can approach people with this openness, the gift of knowledge, the gift of wisdom that can come my way from that new person. Instead of hanging on to the mango that says, oh, I don't like to meet new people. Get it? It's a shift of perception. So what mangoes, what limiting beliefs are you holding on to? Just one. We don't have to let them all go. The second, just let one go. Maybe the easiest one, the smallest one. I'd love to hear what that is. If you are, if you feel like you would like to comment about what limiting belief that you would like to let go, you know where the comment button is, wherever it is that you're watching this. If it's on my website, you can comment, Facebook, YouTube. I'd love to hear from you, of course. I make these videos not for me, right? I make them for you so that you could imagine and see the possibilities of a life where you say yes to yourself, where you know that you are valued, lovable, loved, loving, where you are complete and safe, where you know that you are bold, brilliant, brazen, awesome, amazing. Did I say brilliant? Another B word, badass, where you are just the way you were meant to be. Embrace that. Embrace that. So from my heart to yours, sending you tons and tons and tons of love and joy. Until next time, rock on.